Migrant workers living in Europe. Last year, they sent home more than 109 billion US dollars in remittances. According to the report Sending Money Home, European Flows and Markets, released by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, or IFAD.
Western Europe and Russia account today for 1/5 of the global flows to developing countries. They are second just to North America.
At a time when unprecedented numbers of migrants and refugees are trying to enter Europe, the IFAD report focuses on migrant workers, like Melina Safranca, who make up 90% of migrants worldwide. Melina lives in Rome with her husband and daughter. Some of the money she earns is sent to the Philippines to support her 2 teenage children.
I come to Italy because my children wants to go in high university and to become a doctor.
Although the reasons may vary, when added together, the small sums that millions of migrant workers in Europe sent home last year tell a much bigger story about survival and opportunity. In 2014, 1/3 of European remittances, or $36.5 billion, went to the Balkans, the Baltics, and Eastern Europe, while the remaining 2/3, or $72.9 billion, went to over 50 developing countries outside of Europe. Despite these numbers, the report says remittances from Europe did not represent a significant outflow of wealth, amounting to less than 0.7% of individual country GDP. The money that Melina sends home to her children is earned cleaning houses and babysitting in Rome.
They need money because if you go to university in Manila, we need money to pay tuition fees and allowances.
In addition to education, the majority of remittances received in developing countries are spent on necessities like food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. Very little is saved or invested. With 40% of remittances going to rural areas, the report suggests that remittances could play a critical role in transforming poor communities if both migrants and their families at home had better access to financial services and financial education courses like this one offered in Rome by IFAD. Migrants taking part learn about the benefits of saving and budgeting, as well as how to start their own businesses or make investments in agriculture in their home countries. Globally, IFAD estimates that $80 billion could be available for investment if migrant workers and receiving families were given more options like this.
Remittances present a crucial opportunity for financial inclusion, and the reason is very simple. You have millions of people sending money to their loved ones in developing countries, and they do that from cash to cash. If we could only channel some of that into the financial service providers network, it would have a tremendous opportunity for financial inclusion. It would be able to bank millions of people.
Another opportunity to increase the impact of remittances is to lower the cost to send them. While progress has been made over the last few years to lower transfer costs, the IFAD report says that more could be done through increased competition.
In the case of Europe, for instance, if you could reduce by only 1% the cost of sending remittances, this will be equivalent of $1 billion in savings.
Savings that migrant workers like Melina and her husband would send back to their home countries to help build a better life for their children.
Oh, he has done it again, oh. Yes, he has done it again, oh. In my life, he has done it again. Somebody join me, let's praise the Lord. Join me, let's praise the Lord. He has done it again, oh. Before the signal, I am a gospel musician. I sing gospel songs. When I make the music, I take it to churches and they promote it, they buy. And from that, I was living. And I came down with the Ebola virus. And everything that I had was burned. Right now, I try to raise money to go back to studio to be able to record my gospel songs. But the only income that I have is the mobile money through WFP. Since March, I started to receive my money. I received a message on my phone. Sometimes the message will just come in my phone. And when the message comes in my phone, I read it. And then I say, oh, I have received something. And I will just run straight to Lone Star office and cash my check and be able to cater to some needs in the home, like food, like children tuition. Without mobile money, things will really be difficult for me because I don't have any income besides the mobile money I receive from WFP. I desire to go back to studio and make my gospel songs and be able to go from church to church and sing my songs so that I can earn my living.
This is Choluteca in southern Honduras, Central America. Here, the melon industry is a major employer, ensuring an income for thousands of economically vulnerable families. Most produce makes its way to Puerto Cortes, Central America's biggest deep-sea port, where it's loaded onto ships for the United States, Europe, and new export markets in Singapore and Dubai. The future looks positive for the sector, but this wasn't always the case. In 2008, the US Food and Drug Administration blocked imports after 59 people in the United States and Canada suffered from salmonella poisoning in an outbreak that was linked to Honduran melons. In response, working in partnership with government and the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, the private sector took steps to ensure that it would never happen again. And this has become an example of how a focus upon food safety can help to drive development forward.
In Honduras, there is a very interesting situation, which is the private sector allying to government initiatives. And in this context, we have found some players in this sector who have taken an interest in working towards poverty reduction. They have provided resources. FAO has provided technical assistance, and the results have been really very valuable.
Following international guidelines, this company has put many infrastructural changes into place, which maintain hygiene and protect the produce from potentially dangerous contamination. The produce is rigorously tested, and the staff are frequently given hygiene tests too. The workers are made fully aware of the importance of good hygiene practices, both at work and also at home, where villagers are supplied with materials to control their animals. One of the primary sources of salmonella is from animal waste. Preventing local animals from wandering into the company's fields helps to protect against contamination, while also improving sanitation and health at home.
They give us the fencing, the wood, and they supply a person who builds the chicken coops. And they help us get the chickens. People are really happy with their chicken coops.
Honduras is one of the poorest countries in Central America, and 60% of its rural population live under conditions of extreme poverty. Here, again with the aim of improving sanitation and health, some of the poorest in the community are being assisted by the private sector to build their own homes.
They brought blocks, fencing, cement, and the labor. It was very difficult for us before. because we were very poor. Too poor, in fact. We were living in a house made of cardboard.
Poor villagers like Juan have also been helped to plant kitchen gardens, which allow families to improve their diet by growing healthy, nutritious food.
Food safety promotes the development of communities, promotes the development of people's education, because by applying these standards, we not only improve the production plants, but also people's homes. And we need to drive this forward, teaching our children, teaching all our family members so that they can improve their quality of life.
As can be seen here in Choluteca, attention to food safety not only improves company profits and allows local workers to earn a living, but greater awareness of the importance of food safety has also been extended into the community and is now playing an essential role in local development. This is Declan McCormack for Hungry Planet.